Take me home tonight. Listen, honey, just like Ronnie said. Just like Ronnie said.
Okay, hello and welcome back to another episode of the unofficial pod from Straight No Chaser. As always, I am Mike Luganbill here with Segi and Tyler. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Yo,
What's going on?
Yeah.
definitely the first time we've done this, not the second time.
Yes,
Definitely the first time.
this is the first time
First time.
for episode number 18. He's referring to
Take one.
It's not the first time; it's the second one because I forgot to hit record on the pod that we recorded in Hershey, and I'm okay to admit that is my
It
bad.
happens.
You know what? I'll say something.
Yeah.
It was meant to be because I don't think we were that good.
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought we were boring.
Okay,
Maybe because the room was like dark.
so now we have another shot.
We have a
at
shot.
it.
We've got a mulligan,
Okay.
a breakfast ball, if you will, golf terms.
We are in Akron, Ohio. We are in the middle of a long run of shows. This is number 9 or 10 out of 14 in a row. But I think we're all hanging in there. Everything's well and good. I think
yeah, nobody's.
all the guys' voices are good. There's
Yeah,
no one struggling
we're
right
hanging-
now,
like,
which
we're
is
hanging,
good.
We're hanging in there. Nobody's like down. Everyone's voices are probably a little tired from this big long run, but I don't think anybody's like completely. We're all just marching right along and able to keep doing these shows because the crowd's been great.
Like I said in an earlier episode,
Not the last one.
not the last one, we could do single day shows forever. And
Maybe you can.
I think we're proving it right now.
Yeah.
This weekend, however, will be the gauntlet. That's going to be tough. We got 4 shows, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. But otherwise, yeah,
In
I think
Indianapolis, right?
in Indy, yeah.
Indy.
Otherwise, I think we could roll like we've been doing great.
Yeah.
I don't think the shows have suffered at all.
No,
Not yet.
no.
This
it's been
weekend's
great.
going to be tough, but
Yeah, but Indy is hard. I think what makes it easier is the energy
oh yeah,
just around the crowd, everybody there. That's always a good thing. But on this episode, we're going to recap all the shows that we've had up until now, and we're going to get into the mailbag a little bit, which we haven't for a few
days.
weeks or days since I mistakenly didn't record the podcast the other day. But if you are watching or if you're listening, you'll notice that it's just the 3 of us again. It's nice to be
3
back
of
with
us.
just you guys.
Oh geez.
We've had a lot of fun having all the guys on, and we hope you have enjoyed listening and hearing all of their stories. I know we've had a good time with that.
Yeah, thanks to the people who have come and said that they have enjoyed the podcast through the sign line. That means a lot. So we appreciate you listening and coming to tell us that you've been listening and enjoyed it. So thank you guys very much.
Yeah, and Chaser Jody made a good point. She sent me a message and she said, "Okay, we've heard all the other guys' stories. We need yours, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
So at some point, we'll each need to be the guest of the pod."
I was born on a wintry day in
I like it.
December.
I was born at a
very young age.
So yeah, we won't do that today, but we'll do that at some point, maybe
Yeah.
2027 or something.
Got a lot
Well,
of
you
time
gotta
to think about
You
your
gotta think
story.
about your story.
So the last time that we were with you guys, we were with Walt, and where was that?
Those are day off
Day
in
off in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
before the Erie
Erie.
reschedule.
Erie.
That's right. So
City name, not adjective.
we can start by recapping. Where do we start? So we went to the MGM in Oxon Hill, which is outside of Washington, D.C. We did our live stream shows there, but it was nice to be back. I don't know what
Yeah.
you guys thought about it, but
It's
it was
always
nice to have the sound and actually have, like people
Actual
actually there,
humans
in the
humans
audience
room.
and stuff.
Yeah.
being and clapping, cheering, not just your.
But that's
choreographer-
always a good
your
show.
Choreographer
Yeah.
back there clapping after the first song. The MGM there will always hold a special place in our hearts for us because of the time that we spent there during COVID. Because obviously nobody knew what was going to come of COVID. We didn't know what was happening if we could ever do live shows for people again. And at that point, this was the best thing that we could do. And we loved doing it. It was so much fun to even though we weren't singing for any people, and it was just happened to be cutouts and our choreographer, but we still got to get together and rehearse and perform. And I'll never forget that feeling after the very first show. Sorry, after the very first song, and there was no applause, and you're like, okay,
This
this
is
is us.
new.
Here we go. We got to rally each other. And it was just like that moment. I was like, okay, this is what it's going to be like. But it's still fun to perform. And we got to read the chats and stuff from you guys at home watching, which was awesome. And we appreciate all the support during that time because obviously everybody was having a hard time during that year.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys watching those shows. And so the MGM will always be that special place for us, knowing that we're at that point and now we're here where there's actual people in the audience
Mhm.
cheering. We have a PA sound system and everything is back to normal. It was great.
So before we go any further, let's just rewind a little bit and talk about the journey to
Oh yeah,
Oxon Hill.
sure.
So we were en route to Erie. We thought we were doing the show. When weather is coming in, like we don't really, it's not up to us if the show is happening or not. It's made, that call's made by, then in this case, it was made by the governor or the mayor, whoever the person was that issued the state of emergency. But we were 15 minutes outside of from the venue, and we got an alert from the promoter that was like, "Hey, the show's off. They called a state of emergency, so no show." So we were like, "Okay." So we turned around and head back the other direction and went to the DC area. So that was interesting, but luckily we were able to reschedule that show. We had a date open, and that is why we have these 14 shows in a row. But yeah, dude, the MGM crowd is always great. All the Buffalo Chasers come out to there because that show is taking over for Buffalo or
Hey,
Baltimore.
I was like, Buffalo.
Did I say Buffalo the first
You
time?
You did.
Yeah, sorry. I'm really
I
dumb.
was like, that's a hike.
I think that's because we were there last night, and it's on your mind.
Probably.
And you
Also,
love buffalo wings.
I like them.
So anyway, yeah. So you were saying that show has replaced
Baltimore. Yeah.
the
So
Baltimore show.
we haven't been to Baltimore in a minute. Baltimore used to be like one of our
Yeah.
big markets, like playing the Meyerhoff and the Lyric was
Mhm.
always great. But now we're at the MGM.
Yeah.
So
That's not to say we won't go back to Baltimore because I'm sure that we will at some point.
Yeah, so we have a good relationship with everybody there, and it was nice to be back and everything. That show was great. And the next night we go to Mohegan Sun, which is in Uncasville, Connecticut, the Mohegan Sun Resort and Casino, likely the largest show that we do every year. Is
Oh,
correct,
yeah.
like
oh yeah.
6,000 or something like that in that
Yes.
arena, something like
Yeah.
that.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like the one show that we get to feel rock stars.
Yeah.
Right.
Like pop stars get that feeling every day. And to them it's probably not a thing anymore. Like they don't even think about it.
Right.
But for us, it's still so special and so cool. And
Yeah.
it makes you feel like really legitimate when you take the stage there.
Yeah, I'm sure people will ask, like, why is it there? Why is it in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun that all 6,000 people come to your shows? When, not that we don't do big rooms, but that's a huge room for us. That's the only one like that. So I'm sure they're wondering why that's the case there.
Full disclosure, we don't sell 6,000 tickets. That'd be pretty awesome if we did. We sell like between 2 and 3, and then the casino comps the rest for their big players. And it's a casino, bro. They want people on property.
Spending
So-
money.
To comp them a seat at a show is
Yeah.
they'll get such a big return. Even if 1 out of every 100 comp seats plays the slots, like
Yeah,
they'll
it's
see
worth
they'll see a return from it. They've been doing this for decades, so they've got it down to a science. So we're thankful that they do it, because not only does it give us that one show a year where we feel really cool, it also exposes us to new people that have no idea who we are. They've never seen us. They never would have otherwise bought tickets.
Mhm.
And I'm sure some of those people we have since converted into fans that then do buy tickets and come to shows outside of Mohegan Sun. So yeah, I mean, it's like a win, classic win.
And that's what it's all
Everybody
about, right? We want to reach new fans, and that's an awesome way to do it. And we're looking forward to going there again. It's usually a stop that we make every year. But was there anything about that show that stuck out?
Oh, that lady. Oh yeah.
We had a
Oh, yeah, the slinky lady.
We had a lady in the
The,
crowd who
Yeah, she looked like a
was-
slinky
the
out
used
there
car
dancing.
salesman, the
That's
used
right.
car
Those
like
wacky
wacky
inflatable-
blow up
she-
guy.
She started to she was about
Uh.
like 30 40 rows back on the floor, and she started to dance, which we appreciate the
And-
encourage the enthusiasm
Absolutely.
and passion, but to a song that I wouldn't think would be a song to dance to, movie medley,
Yeah.
which
And it
is it's a song that's supposed to be funny, making fun of these movies, has different tempos. It's not just like a, I would say, a dance number, but
Like sled-
she decided to stand up and wave her arms like a like one of those wacky inflatable things like you'd see at a used car lot. And so obviously everybody was sitting down, so she was blocking people while she was dancing. And then she just started progressively moving closer and closer to the stage. So we all saw it. Everybody, all the guys saw it.
Oh man.
Hard to keep it together. We were all trying not to laugh, and
was tough.
It was tough, but yeah, it was definitely a moment that we'll remember.
It was like interpretive dance. Think of a hippie commune or like a cult, and they're all like out in a field and they're playing like weird string music, and people are just like moving freely, like to the beat of their own drum. That it was hilarious. And she was older, so I'm guessing she was like a flower child, if I had to guess, based on nothing. Like
She was
like
into
a
it.
hippie.
Oh, she
Yeah.
was into
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone's got a video online of that song because half of us were laughing and that
Yeah.
like I'm
It
was-
right and
and
it's
I-
unprofessional,
If
but
you're
like
out there,
it was so
We're
hard not
human.
to just start laughing during
our,
the song.
our statement would be this: we encourage dancing and singing and being passionate about the songs. Don't stand up in front of them. Don't block their view or whatever. So
Yeah.
that would be our only thing.
And we love the energy. So
They kept
that was
bringing
a
her
good-
back,
yeah,
and
they
then
did.
she would just come back up again. And that was 2 or 3 times, and then finally
And
they're
the
like,
security guard was
"All right."
and
Yeah.
every time she started to get up, he was like,
and like the security guard was probably like a 20-year-old kid,
yeah.
and he was like, "All right, lady," like
he was
this
really
is-
patient with
Yeah,
her,
he's like, "This is the third
yeah.
time I'm having to walk you back 40 rows.
Yeah.
You got to go."
I'm sure that's happened there before. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
big,
yeah, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
place, whatever.
it was
so,
it was really awkward to watch.
yeah.
Like it's the secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
It's that.
For our shows where like the security is usually never used like for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
our fans are pretty calm.
The other thing that we did there was we recorded a little tag
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
with Luke Bob,
Mhm.
which is online. It's on the socials now. What's the name of the song again?
The song is a tag arranged by Tim Warwick, and if you're in
Warwick.
Warwick, my
Dionne
bad.
Warwick, Tim Warwick.
Tim Warwick.
He
Yeah.
is a big name in the barbershop community. So he did a tag with obviously just all him, and then we decided to take that arrangement to do with the 4 of us. The song is called
For
From-
Good. I wasn't sure the whole name of it. I was like,
For
For
Good,
Good.
from the musical.
yeah, I've been
Wicked.
changed or something
Yep.
like that. But
So-
it's that. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's timely, obviously, because the movie just came out.
Yeah.
Now that song is in
Not in the movie.
second act of the musical, so it wasn't in this part 1 of the movie.
We're just doing a teaser a year early.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, for sure. But it was a very cool arrangement, and not only did we get to sing it in the stairwell where there was nice acoustics, they let us sing it on the PA in the arena, which was also very cool.
Yeah, that was super cool.
We have a video of that too, so maybe we'll post it at
Yeah,
some point.
we
we'll post that.
Yeah, we'll post that.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna record another tag today.
We are.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
It's a holiday themed one.
It's a
right?
holiday one.
It
Yeah,
is
it's from the
holiday
Grinch.
season.
I had never heard the
Grinch.
song before, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Seriously?
Yeah, no version of it.
Watch it like really? You know what it's about?
I think it's about.
So there's a Grinch, and he
Okay, there's a Grinch. Is
he-
that like a Chewbacca?
he
It's
like
like same
he
thing.
steals things.
Similarly.
Okay,
Similar.
So he's like a giant teen wolf.
but he's green.
He's green.
Yeah.
So then he goes to meet the wizard,
The wizard.
and then he becomes good.
You're close.
You're on the right track.
You're getting
Or okay, he's green.
close. Yes.
So he and Fiona and Donkey travel out of the swamp, steal gifts
Yes.
from who are they stealing from? Who?
I think the Who people.
Yeah,
Three
who,
wise men.
which ones? Who?
The Who's.
Who
Who are
the Who's.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Who's who of America, but who are the Who's?
Who's.
The Who's.
Yes.
That's what their names are. His or
he
and was.
steals from the Who's, and then
But who did he steal from?
he feels
They're
bad,
called the Who's.
and then he
The Who's.
returns.
Yeah.
Yes, and then
You ever heard of Cindy Lou Who?
he
What?
returns the gifts because he feels bad.
He returns them
I think so.
for like full money at the store.
I think. I'm
Spoiler
not
alert.
sure.
They haven't seen the Grinch.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Right.
how do we get on the Grinch?
I don't know.
I don't
Not
know. We
sure.
were talking about the tag.
What part of the movie does he say donkey?
That's in Shrek 2.
It's at the end.
And does he go? Does he
Are you
do that?
naming all green people?
Yeah.
Okay, what
Yeah.
else you got? Green M&Ms?
How does he feel about green beans?
He's not a fan of vegetables.
No,
Oh
my
he's
gosh.
not.
No.
Oh, they're so good
No.
though.
Because we're going to record a new tag today. That's what
That's
we
right.
got. Okay, so now we're back. We're going to record a new tag today. Hopefully it goes well, and we'll post that soon. So anything else about Mohegan? No?
I don't think so.
Nice people.
Jerome's family was there.
Jerome's
It
family.
was
That's
it was
right.
Aaliyah's birthday.
That
right.
was the first time he'd ever spent her birthday
Yeah.
with being together
Mhm.
because obviously her birthday is in December and we're usually on the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait a second. What about 2020? But he spent. No, maybe we were gone.
We were gone. We were
Yeah, we were in
at
Oxon
gym.
Hill.
Yeah.
I remember in 2020 was the first time I spent my birthday at home. I was like, this is very strange.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's if you're at home for your birthday, something has gone horribly wrong.
So the next night we go to Easton.
What's funny
Uh,
about that venue or
what?
about that town and venue?
What?
We always do 2 shows there, and I've gone from the bus into the venue, and
Yeah.
that's it. I haven't
It's an
ventured
interesting
out.
little
I haven't
town.
walked around. I haven't.
We
yeah,
park on the roof there. Isn't that crazy?
That's the roof.
Easton, PA.
Yeah, We
man.
park on the roof. That's why you go
Wild
down
town.
50 stairs.
But isn't there like a street right there?
The
So
whole
we-
town is built into this little mountain.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's a very
Mount
interesting
Easton.
layout of the town.
Is it Mount Easton?
No, I think it's Kilimanjaro.
Oh,
So we had a show at 3:00 that day, and then another show at 7:00 that day. Lots of support there, and we love Easton. It's a lot of fun. Is there anything about that day? There was more than one show. I don't know. It was
Yeah, I'll say shout out to the Chasers. So like on 2 show days, especially like when it's 3 and 7, there's not a lot of time in between shows, especially after the signing line usually takes about an hour ish. In places like Easton and Hershey, they're just a little bit longer. But I've noticed in the past couple of years, the Chasers that come to both shows have either stopped coming through the line after the first show, or they don't do pictures after the first show because they're like, all right, let's just get in and get out, let them maximize their time in between
Right.
shows, and then we can do pictures after the second show because then it's like we don't need to worry about our voices for anything later that night. So thank you for doing that. I don't know if anyone told you to do that, but we've noticed, and it really means a lot because that time in between shows is very precious, especially when we're in like a crazy run. Basically, just any time in December, it's like
Mhm.
any moment in between shows is so precious. So thank you.
Yeah, so Easton was great. It's always great there. And then the next night we go to Boston. They're another venue that I think it was MGM, right?
MGM
But it
Music
wasn't a
Hall.
casino, but it's owned, but yeah, they own it.
Yeah,
That was a cool show.
yeah. The second time we've been there.
Second time we've been to Boston. And the venue's right next to Fenway Park. That's
Literally
or it's
attached.
yeah,
It's
Side-
attached
in
to
Fenway
it, yeah.
Park.
Inside Fenway
Yeah.
Park, which is
That was
cool.
really cool.
Yeah. But really cool backstage with a bunch of baseballs and memorabilia and all that kind of
They
stuff.
have the artist sign the baseballs, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yes, and we got to go out onto not on the actual field,
No.
but up in the Green Monster.
Yeah, we went out
That was
up on
really
top of
cool
the-
because I had never been to Fenway before, or in it. It
Cool.
was awesome. Yeah,
Pretty cool.
it was just like, okay, this is where all those big moments in baseball,
Yeah,
right, all that stuff happens.
it is
So-
the tallest
cool.
stadium.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's what the bro was telling us there.
Okay.
Because most stadiums, when you walk into the stadium, you go down to the field. So they're like subterranean,
Mhm.
like they're built downward into the earth. This is all ground up.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you don't go down. You don't ever go down. So that was a cool, fun fact I learned.
Mhm.
And I learned a lot of other things that day because my family was in Boston. So I got to go to the Boston Tea Party and Ship Museum, which was very cool. That's ship with a P.
Thank you for clarifying.
It was cool.
What'd you learn?
Yeah. What
One,
did you learn?
okay, so one story about that. So it's like a guided tour, and the people that are working there are wearing like the colonial garb, and they speak as a colonial would speak, same like British, but
Old English.
it's like
kinda?
that transatlantic accent that they do, like in all the
Sort of
old
like-
timey movies, like
Mhm.
Gladiator and all that. It's
They
like,
use words like doth.
yeah, it's like kind of British, but not. So they all speak like that. They use the verbiage of the time, so they don't speak shorthand like we do now. So a lot of that was like lost on the kids, but they very much want you to believe that you're in the moment. It's the night before the Boston Tea Party, and it's like you're in like a town hall thing, and the guy's like giving his spiel, and there was a woman there, and she was like a daughter of a famous woman, and man, I don't remember the names, but anyway, so we're like going through it, and then she was like, "Oh, now at this moment, we're gonna take a moment to learn some more of the rules before we have our unbelievable night of the Tea Party." And at that moment, they start playing rules and regulations through the speakers.
Like a
And
voiceover thing.
yes, like
Yeah.
a pre-recorded
Yeah.
thing. And I was just like, what is this sorcery? Like nothing from anybody. I was like, come
Nuts.
no, I was like, come on, guys, it's 1773. We don't have speakers and
Not-
pre-recorded.
Exactly. You should be.
Yeah. I was like, it's a witch. So I set them all on fire, and no, it was cool. Though.
Amazing.
Got to throw some tea in the hobba.
Oh,
Yeah.
like actually got to do
It's
that.
not, it's not actual tea.
No,
it's
but
like a little
like
thing on a
fake little
rope.
thing.
You push it in, then you pull the rope back up, and you.
Yeah.
It's cool. Kids liked it. It was fun.
Oh, nice. We also got to meet up with some IU people that day. There was an IU meet and greet
Yes,
there,
There was.
which is always nice to see. There's about 20 people ish.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Very
We have a
nice
little meet
poll.
and greet. So it was nice to see them. And then the show was great. It's always cool there just because the acapella scene just in the whole city of Austin
Yeah, I would
is
say
like,
Yeah,
Boston
like where it was born.
probably
right?
Yeah,
headquarters
kinda.
of acapella.
Tufts.
So
Is
many-
Tufts like the first ever group?
I have
Oh,
no
yeah,
idea.
it was-
Of the Whiffin' Poofs.
Yeah, I mean, Boston area just first, has always had a bunch of. Well, it's got a bunch of college and universities in
Mhm.
general, but they were the ones that started these. Yale Whiff and Poof started back in, I don't know, 18 something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think at least the more contemporary acapella scene kind of blossomed
Mhm.
and blossomed in Boston.
And you know the area too because you spent some time up
Spent
there,
2
right?
summers out on Cape Cod with Highness Sound, which was a college acapella group in the summers, which was comprised of a lot of people that went to school in Boston and did
Right.
acapella. Yeah, that scene is huge out there, especially on the collegiate level.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean they know acapella very
Yeah.
well there.
Yeah, that's
Oh
great.
yeah, always an informed audience.
And that's nice for us too because I don't know, it gives us a little bit of
Cred.
cred or something.
Yeah, something. It gives us something.
I don't know, energy or
Yeah.
I don't know, something just to know that it's okay, these people like what they're hearing. Or they
Yeah.
So the next day we go back to Erie because they have that night open. So we were able to reschedule the show.
Was lucky that we were able to do that because
Very
a lot of
lucky.
venues are doing other shows or have the Nutcracker
Very
or have another musical or something. Like we were very lucky that they had that Monday open
Yeah.
for us to come back in.
So that was in Erie at the Warner Theater. They just redid the Warner Theater. It was really nice backstage. It used to be not as nice. It was even one that we said after the last time that we weren't sure we wanted to go back. And it had nothing to do with the audience or the show.
Yeah.
It was just
The
not
facilities
it was just
were-
not really livable backstage, right? It was just I don't know what
Yeah,
there
you're,
was
you're
something
being
going on
nice
back
when you
there.
said it wasn't nice. It was like original. I think this thing was built in like the early 1900s. and
Sure.
everything was original. So like the showers like didn't really work.
Mhm.
It was just very grind. It was just old and
Mm.
like unusable. It was time for them to renovate, and they did, and it's awesome. And
They did a
now
great
we have
job.
no issue going back. I don't know if that makes us sound like divas a little bit, but we're not like
Well,
most artists like that
yeah.
show up like
I don't
20
think
minutes
it
before the
does.
show. We spend our entire day in the venue, and like you have to feel comfortable and clean. And
Right. And the other thing I think about that show was that usually when we have to reschedule a show, I would say like about half the people come back. Half or like maybe a little bit more. This time, almost everybody came back on Monday, which was
rare,
really cool to see.
yeah, that's
And it just
awesome
shows that they
support.
wanted to see the show.
Yeah,
And I thought that was really cool because that doesn't happen, right?
yeah. There were 15 people,
15.
15 tickets
Wow.
that were returned. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, because we just did Denver. We just had to reschedule Denver, and a bunch of people could not make the rescheduled date. So there
Mhm.
were a ton of returns. And then last year, the year before, when we were here in Akron, and we were stuck and couldn't get to Chicago,
Chicago, yeah.
we had to reschedule Chicago for after the new year. That was the soonest date we can get, and we went from a sold out show to like 25% of the crowd showed
Mm.
up. So those things suck, and it's understandable.
Yeah. Happens.
You've got plans. Like everyone has lives, and you can't just be like, oh, I could just go see them on any day they choose. Maybe you traveled in for that show and you couldn't make. So we get it.
Yeah.
Not mad at those people.
That was really nice to see, though. So the next night we go back to Pittsburgh. We've been to Pittsburgh a lot in the last couple of weeks, but we go back there and we play. What's the name of the theater in Pittsburgh? The Benedum.
Benedum.
Yep, okay, the
Benedum.
Benedum Theater there. That's a venue that we've been doing for a long time. There's lots. There's I don't know. I feel like we get a lot of support there.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Pittsburgh's been a great
um,
market for us.
and was there anything about that show that stuck out? Other
Jerome's
than
family was there again.
oh yeah, Jerome's whole family was there.
I got a haircut. One thing I am like a diva about is my hair and who cuts it. I once I find my person, I do not stray. I will do everything I can to make sure that okay, it's just Billy cutting my hair. I'm not going anywhere else. He does an amazing job. I'm not going anywhere else. But for Thanksgiving week, I had totally just didn't have time to get in to see him. So I was desperate. And I was like, okay, I trust Paul. I would trust I would trust your recommendation for a salon.
Mhm.
And yes, I go to salons. I don't do barbers.
Bougie.
I am bougie.
It's okay.
Get your
with
nails
hair.
done,
You
too?
can be
I don't get my
bougie about
nails
that.
done.
It's fine.
And he was like, let me ask my hairdresser who's good in the city. And they recommended a place and they did a great job. So I was very nervous.
But did they do a good job?
Yeah, I think so.
But
I need to get a
Yeah,
haircut soon.
but the show itself, I don't know. I feel like we're in a groove right now, so it's like
Yeah.
there aren't a
I
ton of
agree.
fixes to make and stuff right now, so we're
Yeah.
just going and going, and I guess that's a good thing. So and we hope that as we're going ahead here, we hope that's going to be the same. Because the show just feels locked in right now. So after Pittsburgh, we go to Hershey, and Hershey is where we attempted to do the podcast the other day. I'll say it again. I screwed it up, but I think this is going better. So
Yeah.
I will say that Hershey's always great. It's like Easton, just in that, just there's lots of support. It's a show that we've been doing for a long time. I think there was a run there where we sold it out probably 14th in a row
Yep.
or 16. I forget exactly what it was, but
It was a lot.
but
It was a lot.
it's a great spot there for us. They're actually going to renovate that venue next year, so we're not going to be there next year, so we will miss that. But is there anything about the Hershey show that stuck out?
It was weird doing only one show, that's for sure.
Yes, because it's usually
Normally
the two on the weekend.
Two
right?
on the
Yeah.
Sundays we've done for the past however many years.
Yeah.
And it was definitely strange to only do one, but it was a great crowd, a lot of chasers. It's always fun there.
Yeah.
But it was sad to hear that they're remodeling because we are big fans of the shower there.
Yes. It is a life-changing shower.
It's like the pressure is like being like in a car wash.
Yeah, it's like a
very-
fire hose,
It's like a
basically.
fire
Yeah.
hose.
It's insane. It's
As-
wasteful. It's not economical, but it's
Well,
awesome. And I
they're
hope
paying
they
for
keep
it.
Yeah, true.
As I was leaving the venue that night, I was like, all right, we'll see you guys. I was like, good night, Hershey Theater. Until next time I see you, which who knows? And the guy was like, no, we'll see you guys next year. And I was like, Ken told me the building was closing. He's like, yeah, we want, basically what I heard was they want to open in early December and they want us to be the first act.
That's
But-
cool.
Construction is always delayed.
Yeah.
There's no way we could ever be like, okay, let's book the show on this date. And then if they're not ready, then we just don't have a show that day. That wouldn't work.
Can't do that.
I don't know what's going to happen. So there's a chance we could be in Hershey. I
Yeah.
don't. Highly unlikely, not impossible.
Yeah. So if it's not there, it's either going to be Lancaster or maybe
Lansdowne.
Lansdowne was another one, but we will not miss that area. That is
Oh,
a
yeah.
fact. We will be up there for sure. So the last show that we're going to recap is Buffalo, New York. Another show that had
I
some
think you mean Baltimore.
weather. Yeah. Another show that had some weather related issues, but we made the show happen. But there were a lot of people who were not able to make it because of where they lived in the area. I don't know if you want to explain more, Snuggy, but it was a pocket of
It was so
area.
weird because
Yeah, there was
where we were, there was no snow. It didn't snow at all the entire day. There was no snow. There were remnants from the last snow, but there was no. It was fine.
it was fine.
But a lot of the surrounding areas, like they closed the roads, they put travel bans in place, which I've never heard of, by the way. I live in a place that gets snow, not like Buffalo,
I
but
mean, it must have been bad because
yeah. So there were
it was
people that
everything to the south and the east. No, in the west. I'm sorry, the south and the west. I guess was
Yeah.
was like
yeah, but
uh,
yeah, where we were was
bad
fair.
or whatever. But yeah, so there were some people who were not able to make it, like a
Yeah.
lot of people,
Yeah,
and that was out of our control. Like, I think Erie was a little different, like in that it was an emergency situation, right?
yeah,
There
where the
was no
theater was shut down.
right.
It wasn't.
So I know someone got a message yesterday, and it was like, "Oh, so you can do this for Erie, but you can't do it for Buffalo." It's not that
Yeah, we didn't have a choice
it's
in
not
Erie.
that easy, right?
We didn't have a choice in Erie, and also in Buffalo. Again, it's not us that makes the call whether the show happens or not. We can do our due diligence and start looking at dates that we have open that we could potentially do a rescheduled show and have those conversations, but it's not up to us. We could just be like, hey, if you guys choose to reschedule this, we have this date open. And the one date that we have for the rest of the year, Buffalo is like, yeah, we can't do that date. We have something else going on. So there was no other date possible. So I guess the promoter was like, here is fine. So we're going to, the majority of the people can make it. So
Yeah.
I guess we're going to do the show. And we were like, okay, you tell us what to do.
The good thing is that we do have a live stream in about a week and a half. So if you weren't able to see the show and you still want to see the show and you don't have to leave your house, you can see our live stream show. And all that information is available at sncmusic.com. That's our website, and you can find all that there. So like I said, we are in Akron leading into a weekend where we're going to Indianapolis. And then next week, we are all over the Midwest. We are in Cincinnati. We go to St. Louis. We go to
Cleveland,
Cleveland, Chicago, Fort Wayne,
Some
and
big ones.
we go into Indiana again, Indiana University. We're going down to Bloomington.
Tuesday.
Town, yeah.
So we're looking forward to that and seeing all you guys out there. Why don't we jump into the mailbag?
Let's
Mailbag.
do
Let's do As always, if you have questions that you would like us to answer, you can email us at unofficialofficialpod@gmail, and we will read those and we will answer them on the podcast. We will. So right now we'll go to Tyler, and he's got the questions for us.
Yes, thank you for people who have emailed in. I know we don't respond on the email, but we do read them all. So thank you very much.
And we respond here.
We respond right here on
That's
the
right.
podcast. Our first question comes from our beloved merchandise people, cloth merchandise people in Wichita,
Wichita.
Kansas. Lyndon Dwayneswickle. They ask, the Top Shelf is the name of your current tour, but who or how many are involved in creating each year's tour theme? And how many months in advance do you think about it?
We think about it like all the time.
It's got to be early in the year.
Yeah.
So April,
That's when we have to announce.
May-ish. Okay, so we think about it for the whole
Yeah, basically,
those months
once
leading
this
up.
tour is done, we're like, all right, what do we call the next tour? And it's a group effort. We have a weekly conference call with the group when we're not on the road, even when we're on the road.
Yeah.
And everyone just throws out names and makes suggestions, and whichever one sticks works.
I think it's easier when we have a new album or something.
Yeah,
But this year we didn't. It was a little more difficult. It's group effort.
We
yeah.
tried to have the set list be associated with the theme as well. So Top Shelf, we knew that we needed to bring some of our more popular songs back. Rolling in the Deep, Movie Medley,
That's right.
Feels Like Christmas. Some of those gems that people have requested throughout the
Mhm.
years that make it a Top Shelf tour.
That's right.
for this one specifically, I think it was Jasper or Steve that threw out Top Shelf. So I'll make sure they get their
Good for
credit,
them. Yes, that's right.
unpaid credit.
Okay, our buddy Rich from Aurora, Illinois. Shout out, Rich.
Is that a new fan?
It's a new fan.
Okay.
He's brand new. He would like to know what your favorite holiday memory is. And it could be from your childhood or it could be as an adult. I'll start by saying that
I was going to jump in and do yours from last time.
as much fun as it is to open presents when you're a kid, because and when you're an adult too, opening presents is awesome. Now being a parent and a father, seeing your child open a gift is a feeling that you can't explain. It's the best. It's seeing the joy on their faces is just so cool, and I get to experience that every year now, and it's one of my favorite things. And I remember when it first happened, I was like, this is why what's all about right here.
I would just say for me, because usually I go back to Indianapolis, I've been living in Nashville for almost 11 years now. But every year, except for this year, we always go back to Indianapolis. Everybody comes to Indy. And I don't know. I just think that, yeah, it's just something every year. Like it's one thing I can always count on.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll just say being around my family back home. So
So we have like a bunch of different traditions. So like we always do my dad's side of the family on Christmas Eve, and we do my mom's side of the family on Christmas Day. We'll do Jamie's family on Christmas Day as well. Yeah, man, being just because like we don't get a holiday season.
yeah,
Like we don't get all the days leading up. We just get the day.
Mhm.
So being surrounded by family is awesome. And
yeah,
it's
there's nothing like it.
and it stinks because it's so short lived. It's just like, all right, this is amazing. I'm gonna be on a plane tomorrow to the next place. But it's super awesome. But if I'm gonna go like way back, there was a Christmas where so I idolized my older brother, and even as a kid, and it was super annoying to him as a kid, which led to me getting the crap beat out of me for the majority of my formative years. But we dressed the same. We wore the same sweater. I think mine was like a black and gray, and his was like a greenish blue, but it was like the same style. And that was the year that we got Nintendo, so that was big.
Yeah.
But like now, like I hate getting presents. I hate opening presents. I feel really awkward. I wish I was a billionaire because I can't tell you how many times a day if I'm like just looking at stuff online or like at a mall or whatever, I'll always be like, "Oh, so and so would love that." And I wish I could just buy it every time.
Mhm.
And we have differing thoughts on gift giving. I really dislike the modern way that people give gifts because it's just like, here's my list, buy me something off this list.
I don't like it
Or
either.
like,
I
here's the link.
Here's the
Sure.
That I
yeah,
hate that so much
I hate it
because
too.
to me the entire point of giving someone a gift, not just for Christmas, birthdays, whatever, the entire point is you're supposed to have been inspired by this thing and that person, and like I need to connect these two things together. This
Mhm.
person, I need to get this for that person because I feel in this moment inspired that they would love this. They need, like, this would be great for them. Hate so much the here's my Christmas list, start picking items off. I just
Yeah.
don't like it. It's ugly. It's like, here, buy this for me.
Yeah, you lose like the spirit of it all.
Yeah, and
that
it's not
happens
just
a
for
little bit.
Christmas, just
Yeah.
anytime. I don't know. I really dislike that.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally understand why parents make lists for their kids to give to family.
Mhm.
I get it. I still don't like it, but I get it. People
Yeah.
are busy and they don't have time to be inspired about your 5-year-old. I get it. And with kids, you don't want to buy them something they already have 5 of. So there are
I think-
situations where it makes a little sense.
I think
but
that's more what it is. But I
Yeah.
also see your point though too. Of
for kids, it's definitely, we already have this. So here's
Yeah.
why we don't want, we're avoiding returns and all that stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, the whole modernization of gift giving, I think sucks.
So you are the Grinch then,
Yeah.
No, I'm
Matter
not the
of fact.
Grinch.
or Scrooge?
No, I'm a purist.
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell me what to get
Right.
you.
No,
I
no.
want to get you something that I feel that you would enjoy
Yes.
and love.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Tyler's the Grinch.
I'm
Tyler's
on the other
Grinch.
side, but that's fine. You know,
It's
then
all
you
right.
then you get what you asked for, and
That's
you
right.
enjoy
Hey.
it. That's what you wanted.
There you go.
Yeah, but you just buy it yourself.
Is there another question
not
back
your
there
money.
for us?
Yes, our longtime friend and chaser Jeanette in Fresno
Mm.
asks, "Hey guys, can you please explain the process of how a city gets selected for a tour stop and how the show gets promoted?"
Yeah. Our manager, our agent, anyone else get involved in that? Like
I think
all
just,
all the
in
different
the
promoters.
conversations or whatever?
I think just
All the
them.
different promoters for
I think
the
just
shows.
David and Andrea basically send a email blast out to all of our promoters that we work with and potential promoters that want shows and say, hey, our touring window is now open between October this and December this.
And then
They
and
start
we
to,
fill in the blanks as
Yeah.
we go.
they start
Um,
receiving offers, and I don't know exactly how it works. I would assume that venues would be like, we would love if they could come in this block of dates and then they just start plotting things, and then take a protractor and just draw a circle around each one. That's okay. We can only go 450 miles from this point. Where can we go? And then they just have to just map it all out.
Why can we only go that far?
That's as far as the drivers can go.
And then if it's
one-
over that, then
it's over that, then
it's
there's
what?
you have to get additional drivers, there's additional fees, and
It's a lot of rules.
it's all based around safety, which is great. But
Yeah.
we have to do everything not as frugal as possible, but we have to just make sure that we're doing everything in a very economical sense.
Mhm. There's lots of moving parts, and I know that they do their best, and we are super grateful for the work that they do, sending us all over the country, and so we can do shows and see all of you guys and share joy with people, and that's it. So those were good questions. Like I said, if you have a question and you'd like us to answer it, you can write in to unofficialofficialpod@gmail.com and we will answer them. We will answer anything and everything. So send all those emails you want and we will get to them. And we will be right back after this.
Hey guys, Segi Isho here from the Unofficial Official Podcast. I want to give a shout out to today's unofficial official sponsor, LaCroix. LaCroix specializes in making amazing mixers that you can enjoy with your favorite spirits. My favorite is lemon, pairs very nicely with Kettle One vodka and ice and a solo cup. But that's right, that's LaCroix mixers. They're so good. I'm told people drink these alone, like without other stuff.
I've heard
Like
that
other
too.
people.
The lime ones, the orange ones.
I didn't know people drank mixers as like its own drink, but LaCroix mixers. Get yourself some LaCroix, a Michigan-based company.
Nice.
Love that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still there. Let's check the box.
Thank you, LaCroix. We love LaCroix. We have it on our bus all the time.
It's on the right.
Lime, lemon, orange, grapefruit, all of it. And we are very thankful for that. So, guys, as we are wrapping up the tour here in a few weeks, is there anything else that you guys would like to say as we wrap up this episode of the pod and we head into the end of the tour here? Anything else?
We're in Akron today, Indy this weekend, and next
Mhm.
week we got another nice batch of shows that we can see where we're going on our website, sscmusic.com, if you want to come see us or you haven't yet. Or maybe you're just waiting to see us because we haven't been to your city yet. Excited to do these last run of shows before Christmas.
Me too.
Yeah, and I just want to add, people always ask us, what can we do to help the band? Other than coming to shows, of course, and buying merch and all that stuff. And here is what you can do to help the band. Follow us on all the social media sites. Engage with all the posts. Like it, share it, comment. The comment doesn't have to be anything. And honestly, negative comments get us in the algorithm even faster because then people start commenting under the negative one and start arguing. And then more comments means more engagement, means more love in the algorithm,
That's right.
which means more views. But yeah, just spread the word about Straight No Chaser. It doesn't cost you anything. You can do it while you're doom scrolling our YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X. Yeah, and just engage with the posts. And if you want to go a step further this year, if you got some friends and they didn't give you a list of demands for Christmas, then I suggest send them the live stream. Introduce us to new
Love that.
people, introduce new people to us, and we can continue to grow Straight No Chaser. And we can be around for a long time doing the things that you enjoy and we enjoy. Classic win-win.
That's right. It's always good when it works out like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up episode number 18 of the Unofficial Official Pod. For Segi and Tyler and Mike, we will see you next time. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you on the road.
See ya.